Welcome back to Hot Take Tuesday. Episode 7 of Season 2 is here, and this is how I get the community involved. I don't know what the heck that was what I just said, but this is a way for me to get the fans involved, you guys involved. So join the Discord for next Hot Take Tuesday so you could be involved. And let's not waste too much more time. Let's get into the hot take. So the first hot take here is from Tones. That hot take is the Eagles-Chiefs is the most hyped up game of the season and ends up in a blowout. I don't see this happening. These two teams are still going to be incredible teams. They're going to have their rematch at some point in the season, probably. I don't see this game being a blowout from either side. Let's say there is a blowout. Just say there is. It's probably more likely to be the Eagles blowing out the Chiefs just for how great that roster is. But the Chiefs Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, they're too good for that. That won't happen. They won't let that happen. Patrick Mahomes will score 1 or 2 touchdowns quick at the end of the game, and all of a sudden it's not a blowout. Not going to happen. The Chiefs are a very good football team. They're very well coached. They may not be as talented as the Eagles, but we saw in the Super Bowl, sometimes it's not about who is the most talented, even though that's like 80% of it. That's most of it. But sometimes it's the way you're coached. Sometimes it's the way you play and the work you put into it as well. Yeah, you could, I'm not saying the Eagles players don't work hard. That's absolutely false. They do work their butts off. They're there for a reason. But no one's going to blow the Chiefs out. Let's be honest. No one is going to blow the Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid-led Kansas City Chiefs. They have a good offensive line. They have some good weapons. They have Travis Kelce who could help with the offense line a little bit if they need to. And if you have to ask a serious question, the Eagles really didn't change a crazy ton. They did add a ton of talent in the defensive line, but they're not gonna have Chauncey, and he was a big reason why they had a lot of turnovers. Yeah, the defensive line was incredible, but Chauncey really converted on turnovers. He really got the ball to the offense more often. Now, they have a few other guys in there. Sidney Brown, I think his name is from Illinois. I think he's going to be a really fun player. He's going to take over that role. Is he going to be as good as Chauncey, right away? No, probably not. But I think not having a like Chauncey hurts. I know Sidney Brown is really good, but he's still a rookie. He's still to be proven. Darius Slay and James Bradbury, they're both getting older. I don't really agree with the Eagles signing them to what they both got 3-year deals. Darius might have gotten a 2-year deal, but I thought it was too much. I think you should have re-signed one and maybe drafted a corner. You had 2 first-round picks, some solid corners around the board. You did get Keely Ringo in the 4th round. That was a solid pick. At the end of the day, I'm not a huge Ringo fan. I think he's got a few things he's got to clean up in his game. I think he could be a. I don't know. I don't know about Ringo, man. I just don't know if he's going to be as good as a lot of people think he's going to be. Maybe sitting behind James Bradbury and Darius Slay is going to help him. If anything, it will. But if you honestly ask me, as I just asked you guys, have the Eagles had a ton of turnover? Yeah, they do have a new defensive coordinator. They have a new running back. The offensive line is really the same, but just because that's new offense, just because that's the same, that offensive line is still going to be the best, one of the best in the NFL. Wide receivers, solid. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Eagles just have some incredible pieces in place, but I don't think they blow the Chiefs out. And I keep getting away from from my point is the Eagles didn't really change much, and when you don't change it, they had a few impact changes here and there. Obviously, they added Jalen Carter. That's a big impact. But their defense line was already incredible last year. Other places didn't really change too much. Sometimes when you don't change a lot, it's figured out. And you just don't play as well the next year because the NFL has had a whole offseason to be like, they didn't change a crazy ton. Maybe we'll figure this out. Maybe we'll get that down. You know what I mean? So I like a bit more change going from season to season. But the Eagles have such a good roster, though. It's kind of where it's kind of like, do they really need change? But they didn't win it, so they obviously needed something. Chiefs coming out on top, obviously, last year. The Eagles looking to get revenge in in the season rematch, whenever it is. But I'm going to go hot because I don't see any team blowing out either team in the Super Bowl rematch. Hot take number 2 is from Silver Sabs. His hot take is Eagles beat the Jets by 2 scores. I don't think so. I think this is going to be one of the Eagles' losses. I know I said in the Hot Take Tuesday last week that the Eagles, good chance. I think it's an okay chance they go 16-1. You may call me crazy, whatever. And I know I was just saying they didn't change much, but they have such a good team all in all. We're gonna see all the new defensive coordinator come in, put a new system in, and we're gonna see what he brings to the table. But I do not think the Eagles will beat the Jets by 2 scores. I don't think anybody's. I mean, beginning of the season, maybe you have Aaron Rodgers. You have a brand new quarterback. It is learning new terminology. It's learning a lot of new things, new players, new offensive line, everything new playbook. You have a lot to learn. But I think Aaron Rodgers is so experienced and he's so damn good at football that I don't think the transition is going to be horrible. I think the type of offense he's going to walk into is a quick striking offense with some running in there. The offensive line could use some work, but the Eagles in the Eagles defensive line, it's incredible, and Aaron Rodgers will have to improvise and throw under pressure and stuff, but Rodgers can do that no problem. Rodgers can go off script. We all know this. Rodgers is pretty incredible. They have a good defense. I like their defense. It's a solid defense. I think Robert Saleh is going to give Jalen Hurts problems. He's a phenomenal head coach, an even better defensive coordinator, in my opinion. I don't see the Eagles beating the Jets by 2 scores. If they do beat them, it's going to be by 1 score. Not going to be 2 scores, in my opinion. If it's 10-point game, okay, but I'm more so 2 scores is 10 points, but I think it's more likely maybe the Eagles beat them by 10 and not 14. I don't know. I'm kind of getting picky with that there, but I really like Aaron Rodgers. I like Breece Hall. They drafted another really good running back. I'm just blanking. Oh no, that was the Seahawks that drafted to challenge Kenneth Walker. But honestly, they have Breece Hall. They have some good receivers. Offensive line is but at the end of the day, I don't see the Eagles I don't see them beating the Jets by 2 or more scores unless Aaron Rodgers is hurt or something. And yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers makes that big of a difference. Just because how good that Eagles team is. It's so important to have such an experienced and, yes, I'm going to say elite quarterback play back there. I know last year he didn't look as good, but, he didn't really trust his receivers, and it showed on tape. You could see where he threw it to a lot of spots where, hey, this receiver should be here. Or, hey, this receiver just dropped this, and he didn't go back to him because he dropped it, yet he was open. Aaron Rodgers is that type of guy. You need to land a good first impression. You need to impress him. You need to show him that he can trust you. And it's very difficult to gain that trust from Aaron Rodgers. But I think they have some pretty good receivers in New York. With the Jets, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to like who he's playing with. I think he's going to like his head coach. I think he's going to like the situation he's walking into. This is the type of game that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will pull out. Well, the Jets will pull out with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to go hot with this one because I don't think the Eagles are going to beat them by 2 scores. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. Third and final hot take of episode 7 of season 2. This hot take is from Gold4307. Hot take is the New York Football Giants will have a top 10 offense this year. I like this question. It gives you a bit to talk about because the big question mark is right now for me is Daniel Jones. It is, but it's not. I like Daniel Jones, and with the supporting cast, Daniel Jones 100% has the ability to be a top 10 quarterback, in my opinion. I absolutely think he could. And yeah, he hasn't had the production in the air. That's where I'm still asking myself, can he really lead this team? Can he really be the guy? Maybe he's not the guy, but maybe he's a guy that can lead the guys, if you get what I'm saying. I do think Jones has a good arm. I think he's accurate. Of course, he can run. Vanilla Vic. That's what people like to call him. And he's a big threat on the ground. The Giants' offensive line has gotten better, so there's no reason why Daniel Jones can't be top 10. It's just, Is he ever gonna be a quarterback that's gonna bring that's gonna carry your team? It's a very difficult task for any quarterback to do, and any quarterback would struggle under such circumstances of horrible wide receivers he had, bad interior offensive line play. His running back was all right. There's just some questions about Daniel Jones I still have. I want to see the production is still a question for me. I want to see him put up more yards and more touchdowns this next season. And if he does that, I am 100% ready to deem him as a top 10 quarterback. If he doesn't, then no. He's got weapons now. There's no excuse. You look at his weapons. He has Isaiah Hodgins, who came on nicely last season. Darius Slayton, drop issues, kind of your deep threat. Paris Campbell, another deep threat. He's bigger. He's a mismatch nightmare. He's fast. He's big. There's not many defensive backs out there that are big, lengthy, and are pretty fast. So it's going to be difficult to cover Paris Campbell. I think Campbell's a decent route runner. He's got good hands when you lay it in the basket. And Daniel Jones has a nice deep ball. He has one of the best deep balls in the NFL. And that fares well for Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt as well. Jalen Hyatt is a really fun wide receiver, and he's going to be very good for the New York Football Giants. He has great tracking ability, solid hands, solid speed, and if he's going to play in the slot, you can't really press him. You kind of, and in college when he was pressed, he didn't play as well. So, there was something with pressing or something along that lines. Like when he was pressed, he struggled a little bit, but I like Jalen Hyatt. I think he's a good fit with the New York Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson is kind of that pony, that trick play pony. Every team has it. Every solid football team, very good football team, has a player that can do it all. That can do a trick play. That can that could have the ball handed off to him and throw a pass downfield. Maybe a running back. There's so much you could do with Wan'Dale Robinson. That's what makes him fun and a very fun, just good player for the Giants. Then you have Sterling Shepard, solid receiver. He's had injury issues, but I think he's a good receiver. And Jamison Crowder. This is actually a pretty good receiving room. The only thing I'm noticing about it is there's not really much size to it. That's my only question. You don't really have that big guy. But honestly, I think you don't necessarily need to have that big guy if you have such a deep receiver room. You move on to the offensive line. The offensive line the tackles are good. You have some pretty damn good tackles. You have Andrew Thomas and you have Evan Neal. Love both of those tackles. Interior offensive line, that's where you start asking yourself, is Daniel Jones even going to be able to step up in the pocket? This may give Daniel Jones some flusters. It might give him a problem stepping up. And if you look, you look at the interior, the only guy that I really know on that line is you have Mark Lewinsky. You have the Edsu from North Carolina. He's whatever, but Mark Lewinsky I know a bit about. As you see, Colts background, he played for the Colts. He's a mauler in the run game. He's a pretty damn good run blocker. Pass game, he's not as good, but he gets the job done. Sometimes he will struggle in the passing game a little more than you'd like, but he gets the job done, and he's an all right guard. He's a mauler in the run game. There's a lot to like about his play. The rest of the guys here, I don't see too much here in the rest of this Giants offensive line. Really the interior is what I don't like about the line. And that's very important for, when your quarterback, say the tackles do have a hard time, something happens, or, that's not even the point. If you can't step up in the pocket and your offensive line can't block for you to navigate the pocket, that can cause some big issues. There are so many great defensive line talents in the NFL, defensive line players that play inside. A lot of people, there's so many defensive linemen that are just going to be able to boulder through that, are just going to be able to cut right through that interior offensive line. It's not a very good interior offensive line. That is my knock on the New York Giants offense. Really, on the offense, you have Saquon Barkley, you have Matt Breida, you have Eric Gray, you have a ton of options. Weapons wise, we didn't even talk about the tight end, which if you weren't aware, they traded for Darren Waller, a pretty damn good tight end when healthy. This offense absolutely has the means. They have the firepower to be a top 10 offense. And I know we're just talking about the offense, But the defense is going to be pretty good as well. Deonte Banks and Dory Jackson are incredible fits. Deonte Banks is an incredible fit. He can play man coverage. He fits Wandale's system perfectly. It's, he fits perfect like a glove. Fits like a glove. Defense line is incredible. You have Dexter Lawrence, you just paid Leonard Williams. There are so, Kayvon Thibodeau, Ajulari. It's not BJ. It's the other one. Aziz Ajulari is pretty good as well. And they signed Bobby Okereke. They have some good safeties. This Giants team has the means to be maybe probably the second best team in the NFC East, and would not surprise me if the Giants did have a top 10 offense in 2022. So I am going to go cool. I'm going to go cold. I think it's very likely they have a top 10 offense. I'm not going to go guaranteed because I want to see Daniel Jones produce. I want to see him produce. I want more touchdown passes. I want that stretch of games where you're just killing it. Not just the stats, but, he's had stretches where he's played really well. He's a really good quarterback. He really is. I just want to see more production. I know it's, sometimes that's a product of the team around you, but I like Daniel Jones. I think he's a top 10 quarterback if he gets some production going. And he's got that threat in the run game as well. He can run the damn ball. There's a lot to like about this New York Giants offense. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. Do you think the Giants have a top 10 offense? Do you think the Eagles or the Chiefs will blow each other out in the Super Bowl rematch? Or do you think, I'm trying to think of what the first hot take was. Will the Eagles beat the Jets, the newly Aaron Rodgers-led Jets, by 2 scores? Will that happen? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. If you enjoy this video premiere, make sure you like, subscribe, with the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos premieres. And make sure you join the Discord. Follow Twitter. Updates on Twitter. And every single Tuesday, I ask for your hot takes in the Discord. You drop your hot take, and I pick the best ones. So that's all I got for you guys today. This is JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.